Welcome back to the Between Sundays podcast, a Christian podcast that explores the gospel message and encourages holding God's word close to your heart between Sundays. It's Ryland, but I have Nathan with me, and you might be, if you're familiar with the show, you might be like, well, what the heck? Nathan usually does this. Why not, right? Why would I not open today? So we're going to kind of, flip this episode on its side today. I'm going to open, and I'm going to read, and we're just going to have a good old time.
I bet you guys thought that it was a solo study. Just by Ryland starting it, I bet you thought he was going to be by himself again.
No,
But here I am.
We like to have fun. But today we're going to be looking at and kind of continuing in our dive through the how to do different things in our community, the different things in our life, the different things in our church. We're going to be looking at how to give. And so if you want to go ahead and turn to the scripture, we're going to be in Matthew chapter 6. We're going to read the first 4 verses, and we're going to be looking at how to give.
Yeah. And so I want to preface, before Ryland reads anything, my points, my discussion points here are geared more towards giving to the church. That's kind of how I went about this. Ryland's are more geared toward giving in general. Mm-hmm. So when we're listening, if Ryland starts a point, know that it's going to be more towards giving to people in general. If I start a point, know that it's going to be geared towards giving to your local church.
Absolutely. So like we always do, we'll read, and then we'll pull out what not to do, and then we'll pull out the counter and some encouragement for you guys as you go along with your day or night or week or whatever. So I will begin reading in Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. It says, "Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. Otherwise you have no reward with your Father in heaven. So whenever you give to the poor, don't sound a trumpet before you as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be applauded by people. Truly I tell you, they have their reward. But when you give to the poor, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you."
I want to start by saying this, again, Ryland's translation uses the word righteousness there, and we'll get to this point here in a minute, but I love that it uses the word righteousness in that first verse. It's amazing. But my what not to do points are really centered around not bragging about how much you give.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure we all know people, right? They'll make donations to charity, or they'll make donations to the church, and the first thing they want to do is tell you how much it is.
All right.
They'll be like, "Oh, look at me, I gave $1,000 to the church." Well, buddy, there's your reward right there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, we've talked about it so often, right? And dude, if you don't think that God is trying to put some emphasis on this kind of how-to series here, it's like, hey, don't do it for the curb appeal. We talked about curb appeal, Nathan and I, in our personal studies just a couple days ago. We talked about curb appeal, right? Don't do it for the curb appeal. Do it for the betterment of your church and the betterment for the kingdom and the betterment of your relationship with Christ. So,
absolutely. And really, you got to think about giving to the church is not about making you look good, right?
Right.
Ryland was sharing that his church does it differently than my church does it, and I don't really think there's a set in stone way that a church has to do it, but
no.
they pass the offering plates around during Sunday school, and so I'm picturing the Sunday school class that I'm in. There's a few people in it, so if I go to give my offering, and they're passing the plate around in Sunday school, it would be really easy for me to throw down however much money I'm putting in the offering plate for everybody to see. It's not about making if I give $3, cool. It's not about making myself look good with that $3. There's not a lot that I can do with that
right.
If I'm trying to make myself look better,
no,
it's the whole point's missed.
No, I'm not gonna, like Nathan said, I'm not gonna, if I know I'm giving $200, $300, $400, I'm not gonna do a money spread and make sure I lay all the $100 bills in individually and count the number out loud. Be like, well, that's 50, that's 100, that's 150, that's 200, that's 400 whole dollars I donated. So, do you believe it? No, there's no point in doing that. Yeah. You're just doing it so that everybody knows how much money you have, how much money you gave, how quote unquote good of a Christian you are just because you gave $400 into the offering plate.
Absolutely. Right. And again, when you're giving to the church, the whole point of giving to the church is so that the church can do something with it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm of the personal belief, you can have your own personal belief about this, but I'm of the personal belief that if the church wants to do something, they should never have to take a loan out from the bank to do it, right? Like if they wanted to renovate the church or whatever, like they wanted to build a new sanctuary or whatever, if the church can't afford to do it, then they don't need to do it, right? Like if you can't afford to, if the members can't afford to give for the church to do it, then you shouldn't do it, right? That's just how I feel. Mm-hmm. You can have your own opinion. I'm not saying that like that's absolute gospel or anything like that. But like, if you are noticing, hey, like, you know, my church just finished Bible school, right? And we had, you know, a ton of fun with it, but our decorations were great and everything. But if like we didn't have money for decorations and all I wanted to do was complain about it, maybe I should give a little more so that they might have some money to work with for decorations or whatever. Like, you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah. But again, I mean, that's all up to you. That's up to your family. That's up to, that's between you and God, right?
Absolutely.
But the ultimate thing is don't do it for the show. Don't do it for the curb appeal.
Absolutely.
I'm going to drift away from the church talk just a little bit, and I'm just going to say, when you give, and this is give, generically give, don't make it known to anyone. Because again, in verse 1, it tells us to be careful not to practice our righteousness in front of others to be seen by them.
Absolutely.
Like I mentioned, if you do it to be seen, you'll be seen. It's kind of like a reap what you sow type thing. If you do it to be seen, you'll be seen. But if you do it for the betterment of the kingdom will be better.
Absolutely. Right. Again, like, I like how I said it earlier. I said at the very beginning of this episode, I love how Ryland's translation uses the words practice your righteousness. Because we've got a lot of people in the church who are great at practicing their righteousness in front of people, right? They'll volunteer when they know that someone's taking pictures to post on Facebook.
Yeah.
They'll volunteer when they know that, you know, the newspaper's coming or that like this person's coming or this visitor's coming or whatever. They'll volunteer then. But, you know, during the hot summer months or whatever, they're not going to be there, right? People aren't practicing their righteousness in public as much as they are, or excuse me, people aren't practicing their righteousness in private as much as they are in public.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, if I'm paying for, like, Nathan's meal, like, say we go to McDonald's and he forgets his wallet, and I'm like, you know, I got you, man. And then I'm just like, wow, Nathan, you owe me $12.99, and I make it known to everyone in the restaurant that Nathan owes me $12.99.
Absolutely.
What was the point in me paying for his meal in the first place, right? Did I do it because, well, hey, I love Nathan and like I got him, he's my bro, I got his back? Or did I do it because, hey, I want everyone in the restaurant to know that I got big money, that I am a good friend, right? When I give $1 to a homeless man, right? I give $1 to a homeless man, I'm like, man, I'm such a generous dude. It's like, well, did you do it to help the homeless man, or did you do it to let everyone else know that you are a good dude, right? And so it's just a gut check, right? Are you doing these things? Are you giving your money? Are you giving your time even? Are you giving your efforts to the church, to other people, whatever? Are you doing it for the betterment of that process, or are you doing it just so everybody else knows how good of a giver you are?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like Ryland's been saying this whole time, if you aren't giving whatever it is, time, money, effort, talent, clothes, whatever, for the betterment of the process or the betterment of the church or the betterment of that person, you might as well not give it all.
Right.
Right? Like, there's no point in giving if you're not doing it to better somebody else, something else, or like the body of Christ in general.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, again, it's just we talk a lot about heart posture. I think that's one of the things that we talk a lot about on this show is heart posture. How you truly feel about God when you're giving, right? If you're giving because it's a chore, right? Like, oh, well, it's the first of the month. I got paid. I'm going towards the church here. It's the first of the month. I got paid. I've got to write my check to the church.
Right.
God doesn't need your money. Just like God doesn't need me and you to do anything for him. And I want you to listen very carefully. I'm not saying God does not want you. I'm saying God does not need you to carry out his plan.
Yeah.
God does not need your money, your time, your effort, your face to be posted on Facebook for whatever the church is doing. He doesn't need any of that. But he wants it.
Right.
He wants you to give that stuff.
Yeah. And so I'm good to go ahead and hit the counters if you are.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So my counter is just to do it with a good heart. Do give whatever, give whatever, give to whoever. Do it with a good heart.
Absolutely. And again, like I just said, it's about heart posture.
Yeah.
When you give, what's the intent behind it? Right? If you are giving the dollar to the homeless man so that you can go to the store and buy a "I stop for homeless people"
Yeah.
like bumper sticker to put on your car,
Hmm.
what's the point?
Right.
Right? What's the point? Right? My wife does, and she if when she listens to this, she'll probably like punch me in the arm. So sorry, but my wife, she'll get a hunch, like a hunch, whatever you want to call it, probably about once a week. We'll be going through a drive-through somewhere, and she'll go, I don't know, like I just feel like the Lord's telling me to pay for the people behind me, right? And so she'll pay for them. Like she doesn't know these people, she just pays for them. She pays for whatever it is, and it's like she doesn't do that so that she can stick her head out the window and wave at them and be like, "Oh my gosh, I paid for your food."
Yeah.
She just does it because she feels like the Lord. That's what the Lord tells her to do.
Yeah.
Right? The Lord. We are blessed beyond measure. Me and my wife are. We are blessed beyond measure. You know, and so there are times where we are financially blessed, where we are able to do things like that. And as long as, again, as long as we keep that right heart posture, I don't see a point where the Lord's like, "Nah, I'm gonna take my hand off of them."
No. It's that simple of a switch. I do want to point out, it's in the book of Matthew. I don't want people to do this and think that they can't go out and give in public. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, you don't have to turn there. It says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." So, whoa, it
Absolutely.
kind of sounds like we have contradicting points here, right? No. While we are supposed to be seen doing good works, those works shouldn't be done solely to be seen. And
Yeah.
I really do hope that this makes sense to our listeners, right? Do them with a good heart and then just let others observe how they may.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
force your image. Don't
Yeah.
make it known to everyone, because when you make it known to everyone, you're making everyone around you believe that you're a good Christian and making everyone around you believe that you're a good giver, right? Let your actions define you no matter what, and that will keep you more straight, right? That will keep you on the straight and narrow, and that'll keep you doing
Yeah.
and giving the proper way.
Yeah. Right. I mean, like, I kind of look at it as if somebody sees me doing something good, then they see me. Cool. Right? Like, I'm not doing something good just so that they can see me do it. Right? But if they see me, cool.
Right.
That works for me.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, cool. It's not going to stop me from doing anything. It's not going to keep me doing things either. It's just, they saw me do it.
Yeah.
And they might say something. But, that's even more time for me to just point them back to Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, dude, my license plate, I was prepping my notes for this, and I realized that my license plate, those don't know, we live in North Carolina, my license plate says to be rather than to seem. And it's like, dude, I would rather be a good Christian and be a good giver and be a righteous, someone who's giving with the right heart posture type of man than just seem that way to other people because, well, that's what they've heard about him type deal. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I didn't know that.
yeah,
I guess I haven't really paid attention to your license plate.
nah, it's all good.
I don't know.
No worries.
I don't know. My counter to, again, like this was, again, my points were geared more towards giving to the church. So my counter to this, all of these things that we shouldn't be doing, is that giving privately will equal a public reward. And you're going to be like, Nathan, what the heck are you talking about? You mean that like, I'm going to if I give $1,000 to the church, there's going to be a $10,000 check from Jesus sitting in my mailbox? No. No. I'm not saying that. Now, like I said, me and my wife we try our best to stay right where the Lord wants us to be. And, there are times where we are more financially blessed. And I'm not saying that, oh, look at me, look what we're doing.
Right.
But what I'm thinking about here is if you are giving of your time and your effort, right? Like I said, we just had Bible school. I think this week, I got home at like 9 o'clock tonight. I think we're recording this on a Friday night. I got home at 9 o'clock tonight, and that's the earliest I've gotten home all week.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be like, oh my gosh, Nathan's so tired. No. I have been serving in the church until like 9:30 every night. And it's been amazing. And I know that somebody might say, hey, well, great job, Nathan. But I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing that so that somebody might see Jesus through what I'm doing. Right? We just talked about it in verse 16 of chapter 5. But also so that I have more when I get to heaven to give back to Jesus.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. This is really my last kind of sub point here of doing it with a good heart. When you give, you also shouldn't be self-congratulating yourself. You also shouldn't be like, I think this passage says, like, don't let your left know what your right is doing. That means, like, kind of hide it from yourself. That's essentially what it's saying. Don't give yourself that sense of, indulgent self-congratulation type deal. Because, again, if you do it to feel better about yourself, if you're giving $100 to the church on Sunday because you want to feel so much better about yourself, your self-congratulation is your reward. God, and I know that's hard. Like, that's a thin line to walk. Yeah. But it like, and I know it's going to feel good naturally, right? So kind of, because I feel like being in the Lord's plan is going to feel good. But if you do it just for that rush of dopamine of, I did the right thing, I did the right thing, I did the right thing, and not, I really hope that the Lord can use this type deal. Like, your self-congratulations, your reward, but if you do it for the betterment of Christ, then that area is going to be affected better. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, for sure. Again, like, I mean, I'm talking about Bible school a lot because, that's just what we came through.
Yeah.
But I mentioned it, right? Like, if, our church had a whole lot of decorations. Sorry if you hear my dogs. She's got a ball, so I'm trying to talk kind of loud so you can't hear her. But, we just came through Bible school and there were a lot of decorations. But if my church couldn't afford to decorate, that falls back on me. But if I write this big check, right, and I'm assuming people listening know what a check is. I'm assuming we know how to write checks. You write on the memo line what it's for. And if I write this big check to the church for $5,000 that says decorations for VBS in the memo line, I'm congratulating myself for writing that check. I'm like, this is exactly what I want it to go towards. It's not about that. Right. Ryland said that rush of dopamine you get whenever you are in the Lord's plan is great. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're only working for the Lord so you get that rush of dopamine, that's like Ryland said, there's the issue there.
Yeah.
That's that line that you got to be really careful about.
Yeah. That's all I have. I have one last line, is that, and if you take nothing else from this episode, I hope that you take this, is that mankind sees only the act, but Christ sees through the act. So take that how you will. Write that on a Post-it note, stick it on your door, stick it on your bathroom mirror, whatever. Just remind yourself of that. That, again, Absolutely. It's about the posture of your heart above all else.
This has been good.
Yeah, dude, I've enjoyed this.
The reverse episode.
Dude, like Nathan said, we're recording this on a Friday night, and what better thing to do on a Friday night at 10 o'clock than two dudes sitting here on a Zoom call recording a podcast episode? I mean, dude, there's nothing like it, man.
No.
But I guess it's on me to close today.
Hey, big pressure here.
Dude, we hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been How to Give with the Between Sundays podcast. Just remember, guys, that hell is hot, but heaven is not. We will catch you guys next time. See ya.